Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock and it's time for another video. And today I want to talk to you about long tutorials. I want to talk to you specifically about long tutorials. I want to talk to you, and the reason I want to talk to you about long tutorials is because I've been tagged in a couple of posts recently. Hanson Chen tagged me in a post. Hanson Chen never tags me in a post. Hi Hanson. Never tags me in a post. I got tagged in a couple of posts where people were talking about long tutorials on physical magic products and how they're the worst thing in the world, and how you hate long tutorials on physical magic products and how they shouldn't happen, and it's a worrying trend that's happening in the magic community at the moment. And if we can't condense this into 30 minutes, then what's the point of doing it? What's the point in offering a product that's 10 hours of video tutorial? It's ridiculous, it's stupid. And I can understand why I got tagged in that, because let's be honest, I've put the odd long tutorial out, haven't I? I've put the odd long tutorial out. I've put tutorials out. I think Cube 52 was 9 hours. I think the Nightshade coin set was 8 hours. Mirage the Mirage project, the coin project was 7 hours. I think 5 hours for the Svengali project. And then I've done smaller ones, like I think Gatekeeper was about 25 minutes. I'm pretty sure I kept Super Picks at less than an hour. I'm pretty sure Chop was about an hour as well. So I've kept them, I've done some tutorials that aren't that long, but I've done other tutorials that are fucking monstrous. So I can understand why I've been tagged in. So what are my thoughts? What do I think? Is it a worrying trend that's going to destroy the magic community? Magic is dying because of these long tutorials. People just waffle, and because they waffle, it just drives them insane. Look, here's the thing. I do feel very passionately about this, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about this. This is going to be half opinion, half rant. I'll try not to swear, can't guarantee it. Here's the thing, right? Why do I do long tutorials? What is the reason behind me doing long tutorials? Well, first of all, let's analyze the situation, shall we? And I'll explain to you why I think long tutorials are actually a really good idea, and why it's not having the damage on the community that people think it has. In order to get to that point, though, I do have to say that a lot of people these days, they are looking for instant gratification. You know, I saw, there was somebody who left a review for Super Picks a little while ago, and they were like, oh, I don't know whether to buy this or not because I don't want to do any sleight of hand. And I see a lot of people saying that, I don't want to do any sleight of hand. Look, here's the thing. My attitude of being a magician is, it's not an easy thing to do. You want to get better at it. You want to learn stuff. I think that in this day and age, in this community, in this industry, I think there's a lot of people that are wanting the easy option. They don't want anything more other than to be shown what the gimmick is. Okay, here's a playing card and it's got a flap. All you have to do is just pull the flap down like that, let go, and it does the trick for you. Thank you very much for your £40 and enjoy your flap that's probably going to break in 0.2 fucking seconds. That's what a lot of people want, right? That's not what I want. I like... Why do I do 27 frigging videos a week on this channel? Why I do 27 videos a week is because I like to actually tell people what I think is useful information for them to have. Now, whether they find it useful or not is another matter, but I like to try and help. I like to try and give advice on various different things. Just recently, as of time of filming, yesterday a video went up on how to choose a spectator from the audience to bring up on stage. I don't think anybody's talked about that subject before. I did a 30-minute video on how to bring somebody up on stage. I know that that's going to be useful information to somebody. And here's the thing, it's subjective, right? It's subjective. Somebody who's saying, well, I watched Cube 52 and it's 9 hours long and I think that's too long. It could have been done in 30 minutes. Just show me the routine, the best routine. Show me that one routine that in the 30 minutes, I want to see the one trick that you do, Craig, the one that you think's the best. I don't want to see all the other shit. I just want to see that one trick. Look, here's the thing, if that's your attitude, it's subjective. I don't know what the best trick is. I just know that you can do a lot with it. The best, and that, interestingly, Evoke is a perfect example. That was quite a long tutorial that I did. And every single person that I speak to about Evoke, they've all got a completely different favourite trick. Some people's favourite trick is the A-can. Some people's favourite trick is this. Some people's favourite trick is that. It's subjective. So how do I choose? If I've got a ton of information about a trick, how do I choose which information to put across and what information not to put across? But let's reverse a little bit, right? Let's talk about why I do these long tutorials. I do them because I come from Magic, when Magic was all about buying a 3-volume DVD set. Oh my God, Bill Malone has just brought out On the Loose volume 1 to 6. I am literally going to be up for about 12 hours watching those performances and learning those tricks because I cannot wait. Bill Malone is awesome. That's where I came from, where you didn't get one product with one explanation of one trick and that's it. Thank you for your 50 quid. I will go now. You got multiple routines, multiple handlings for all those different multiple routines. That's what you got. And these days, that's not the case. And part of the reason is, like I say, people just want it nice and easy. They don't want to have anything difficult. But the other reason is, I'm trying to explain it in a way that it comes across and it makes sense. Let's just reverse again a little bit here, okay? So, look, first of all, when you talk about a long tutorial, you've got to kind of break it down. What I mean by that, and use Magic Button as a perfect example. You look at Magic Button, that's a 3-hour tutorial. Probably a long tutorial. The people that are saying that's too long, that's probably too long a tutorial. But the first hour is sleights. It's just sleights. That's all it is. Here's how to do an Erdnase change. Here's how to do a double lift. Here's how to do a control. Here's how to do a color, a force. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do that. I spent the first hour just talking about sleights. Why did I do that? Because I find it frustrating when I watch a tutorial and the guy who's doing the tutorial spends 10 minutes teaching me how to do an Elmsley count. I know how to do an Elmsley count. I don't need somebody to spend 10 minutes teaching me how to do an Elmsley count. I know how to do an Elmsley count. So when I do a long tutorial, typically the first hour is me teaching all of the sleights. So that when I go into the routines, I can be really quick. I can be like, right, I've covered all of the sleights. Now, here's how to do the trick. First of all, do an Elmsley count, then do a double lift, then do an Erdnase change, and then you're done. Thank you very much. It keeps it nice and quick, right? If people don't know the sleights, they can go look them up in the sleight section. If people don't know sleight of hand, they can watch the sleight section first and then they can go into the main routines. If you are experienced at Magic, you can skip the sleights completely and you can go straight into the routines. That, for me, saves time. But the problem is, people will turn around and go, well, Magic Button is a 3-hour tutorial. It's 3 hours! That's ridiculous! Well, the first hour is actually sleight of hand. That leaves you with 2 hours. Now, when you take those 2 hours, I think there's something like maybe 12 routines on there, but each one of them has got a live performance. That live performance is probably 5 minutes per it's 5 minutes per live performance, which is about another hour. So there's actually only about an hour of tutorial because you don't have to watch the live performances. But as much as some people don't like long tutorials, I don't like people not doing live performances because it's lazy. I am absolutely sick and tired as a Magic reviewer of watching tricks that come in for review and there's no live performance, there's no studio performance. Instead, there's some incompetent fucking dickhead who's sitting at a table shaking his little ass off, performing a trick that he probably invented 0.3 seconds ago, and going, right, okay, this is how to do the trick now. Thank you for your £50. And it's just shit. And the trick is shit. It's been done before. It's the shittest trick in the world. His handling is shit. The tutorial is shit. There's no live performance. And you know why there's no live performance? Because that fucking idiot on that fucking tutorial couldn't go and perform his way out of a paper bag. He absolutely could not go and perform that to real people. And in reality, he probably woke up that morning, woke up with an idea for the trick and filmed it and put it up and sent it off to somebody by the afternoon. That is what I find offensive about Magic these days. Not a long fucking tutorial, because if there's a long tutorial, that means that the person at least has put some thought into their project. If there's multiple live performances on there, at least that person has actually believed in his product to a point that he goes out and gets live performances to show that this can be done in the real real world. As annoying as you find a long tutorial, I find it even more annoying when it's a 5-minute tutorial. 3 minutes of it is a guy just like teaching you how to fix the elastic thread if it breaks, and the other 2 minutes is just bullshit. That is my biggest problem. When I bring out a long tutorial, like I say, the first hour might be slides. There might be an hour of live performances. That leaves you about an hour of tutorial. Realistically, at the end of the day, that's actually not that long when you consider I'm teaching you multiple routines. But why would I not want to teach you multiple routines? Why would I not want to do that? Let's take evoke, for example. There's so many different things that you can do with evoke. Let's take magic button. There's so many different things you can do with magic button. And like I say, people come up to me and they go, well, that's my favorite trick. Oh, that's my favorite trick. That's my favorite trick. So why should I take a trick out of there? Why should I take a trick to pander to the small group of people that don't like live performances? Oh, okay. I guarantee you, if I'd have bought out magic button and it was just the main routine and that's it, I would have people bitch about it. Oh, but there's so much more you can do with this. Why did Craig not put a longer tutorial together? Because I was trying to appease the small section of people that don't like long tutorials. And, you know, these people that say, oh, it's becoming the industry's trend now. A lot of people are putting long tutorials together just to add value to a product that's substandard. You can't say that about anything that I've put out. What, are you going to call Evoke substandard? Nope. Are you going to call any of the stuff I put out that's got a long tutorial substandard? No. And one of the reasons is you can see all of the different ways that I use it. You can see all of the different ways that it can be done. But here's the thing. Normally, with a lot of the long tutorials, there's a quick start guide at the beginning. Look at Evoke. Look at the first half an hour. This is what these cards are. This is the marking system. This is how it works. This is what you do with them. Now let's learn the routines. If you don't like long tutorials, here's an idea. Don't fucking watch them. Look at the first half an hour where I teach you what the product is and then come up with your own routines. You're going to miss some real gold, but then you only have to watch a half an hour tutorial. Look at Magic Button. You want to learn the routine that's on the tutorial, that's 15 minutes. Take out the live performance, take out the slides, that's 15 minutes. 15 minutes, that's all you need. You can learn that trick and then you can go and do that for the rest of your life. Don't worry about it. Any trick I bring out, the Nightshade coin set. You can spend the first 45 minutes learning about what the coins are, skip the sleight of hand, learn the copper silver, job done. You don't have to watch the long tutorial. But here's the thing, I would rather give people massive value. Now, if I was like droning on for the first hour and a half about nothing, then maybe you'd have a point. But I try to be as succinct as I possibly can. I try to be as succinct as I possibly can, whilst at the same time covering all of the information that you need to know. Oh, but you waffle on too much. You go on too much. Well, here's the thing, right? One thing that I learned from Penguin Magic is that you have to release when you release a product, the product that you release, you have to imagine that the person that's watching that product, it's the first magic product that they've ever bought. They're new into magic. It's the first magic product they've ever bought. They've seen the trailer. It's really captured their interest. They've sent off for it and it's arrived. If that is not comprehensive, if that doesn't tell them everything they need to know, they're probably going to feel ripped off. They're probably never going to buy anything again. I want to make sure that whether you are a new person into magic or you have been in magic for 1,000 years, you are going to be able to get value from that product. But the tutorials are structured in a way where if you are fucking David Copperfield, for example, if you are David Copperfield, you don't have to watch half of the stuff. You don't have to watch the live performances because you're probably going to come up with a way to do it yourself that will involve your hair blowing sexily in the hair whilst spinning something around your head and flying around the theatre. You don't have to watch the live performances. You don't have to watch the slides. You can literally just skip to the sections that you want to skip to, watch those sections and that's it. But I think to counter the argument of, well, I think I think that long tutorials are rubbish. I think that short tutorials are rubbish. I think that if you've bought out a physical product and you've only got one idea with that physical product, I think that that's kind of shit, really. You're asking people to give you money for this thing. Now, occasionally there is a trick that comes out that does one thing and it does it really well. Gatekeeper is a perfect example. That's a 25-minute tutorial. It's an add-on to Keymaster. It does that one thing and it does that one thing very, very well. But a lot of the time, if you sat down and thought about it, then you could probably develop some other ideas. And when I say develop, I don't just mean come up with a brain fart and talk about it in the tutorial. I'm talking about developing that idea. I'm talking about going out to see real people, performing it to real people, working it in. It's why a lot of the tricks that you see me come up with, no, not a lot of them, all of them, have been worked in for years before they see the light of day. Now, the other thing that you have to consider is a lot of the stuff that I do are projects. So, for example, the Svengali deck project is a Svengali deck project. It is a collection of routines with a Svengali deck. If I just turned on if I just did a 20-minute tutorial for the Svengali deck project and I was like, hi guys, my name's Craig and I am here with Alakazam doing the Svengali deck project. This is a Svengali deck. This is how it works. Thanks very much for joining us. Please come back to Alakazam Magic to buy more magic in the near future. Thank you very much. Fuck off. If I did that, then that would be... everybody would shit on me from a great height. Why has the Svengali deck project been so well received? It's because I was very thorough about the tricks that I was teaching. It's a project on the Svengali deck. But if you look at a lot of my stuff that I bring out, a lot of it is the same. The Svengali deck project, the Mirage deck project, the Mirage project, the Nightshade project, the Cheeky project, the Visible project, the Forecast project. Are we seeing a pattern here? A lot of the time, I will take a prop or a thing and I will put a project together where there's a ton of material with it. That's what I enjoy doing. That is what I do. That is what I will continue to do. I enjoy doing that. That's something that I find fun. And it's something that people will have value in. But even if it's not an existing thing, I take that same approach. So when I did the Svengali project, for example, I was like, right, this is a Svengali deck. I'm going to spend the next 2 years coming up with every single thing that I can think of with the Svengali deck. I'm going to work it in the real world, and I'm going to put the ultimate Svengali deck project together. And please remember that people were asking for that Svengali deck project since Visible came out. I take that same approach with everything. So when Cube 52 came out, that was a deck that I created with Phil Smith. But I still took the same approach. Why is it so long? It's because there is a lot you can do with Cube 52. It's not just a coloured deck that's got marks on it. There's a lot you could do. Now, could I just turn around and say, hey guys, welcome to Murphy's Magic Cube 52. This is a deck of cards. This is the marks. These are the colours on the front. Here's how to do one trick. Thank you very much. See you again soon. Bye, everyone. Could I have done that? Absolutely, I could have done that. But I took the same approach that I did with the Svengali deck project because I wanted to actually show people all the different ways that you can use this deck, all the different ways that you can perform with it, all the different things that you can do with it. And I wanted to load it down with live performances as well, so you can see that this stuff actually works in the real world to real people. It's basically what I wanted to do, right? So, with that all being said, with that in mind, I don't have a problem with long tutorials. Duh, I think that's pretty freaking obvious. And if you have a problem with long tutorials, the simple fact is, don't watch the whole tutorial. You see, if you only like short tutorials, most of the projects that come out by me and other people, you can learn everything that you need to know in the first 15, 20, 30 minutes. Then you don't have to watch the rest. It's kind of like... Ricky Gervais talked about this in one of his stand-up a few years ago. It's kind of like arguing with somebody on Twitter, and you know, somebody says something on Twitter, and you feel the need to reply back. Ricky Gervais likens it to walking down the street and seeing a sign that says, "Hey, guitar lessons are available. Please call this number," and you call up the number and you go, "I don't want guitar lessons." Well, fine, don't fucking ring me then. It's the same with this. If you don't like long tutorials, here's an idea. Don't fucking watch them. Either don't buy the product. You obviously wanted to buy the product because the idea of the product appealed to you to the point that you've bought it. You're now throwing your toys out the pram because the tutorial's too long. Oh, it's terrible! I've got too much information about this trick. My brain can't cope. I've got things to do. Then just don't fucking watch all of it. Watch 15, 20 minutes of it. But you can't do it the other way. And there's people out there that like long tutorials. I know. I see them. Look at the reviews for my shit. People say constantly, I love the way that Craig is so thorough. I love this. I love that. I love the other. You can't go the other way. You can't have somebody who likes long tutorials and then they buy a short tutorial and they go, oh, I wish this was longer. It's not, though. But if you like short tutorials and you've bought one that's long, just watch the first 20 minutes and then don't bother with the rest of it. Don't bother with it. And then you're not going to have anxiety. It's a little bit like Facebook. If you want to get in an argument with somebody, get into an argument with them. But if you don't want to get into an argument, scroll on by. It's a little bit like going on Facebook and saying, oh, I don't like reading this person's posts. This person I don't like. Then don't fucking block the guy. Then you're not going to see their posts. You don't like long tutorials, but you want to buy the trick that the long tutorial is associated with, then fucking just watch the first 20 or 30 minutes. But you're missing out on some proper gold. You know, when I put a tutorial together, it's probably initially 20 times longer than it was when you saw it. And I reduced it and cut out all of the shit and cut out all the shit and cut out all the shit. And we got left with what you ultimately saw. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Now, I would love to know whether you agree with me or you disagree with me. Yeah, here's the thing. I do this for fun. If people want to turn around to me and say, you know what, we don't like long tutorials. I don't want another Craig Petty long tutorial ever again. Fine, I'll fucking do it. Don't care. I'll just do a short tutorial, just one trick. It'd be a hell of a lot easier for me because normally my stuff takes 3 years to put together. When I create the trick, I'm like 3 years later, right, I've got all of the routines, now I can go. If it was one trick, I'm like, yep, 10 minutes, right, fly me over again, Murphys. I'm ready for another one. So if you want to see short tutorials, let me know. It made my life a lot easier. But I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? I want to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Now, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back again tomorrow at 9 o'clock with another video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, go join the Netrix. That's www.thenetrix.com. It's my online streaming platform for magicians, and you can access it immediately. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.